Hello, Africa. Good morning. Welcome to the conversation on TOS Television Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. And of course, we're reaching you from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. My name is Adesua Osoyi.
And I am Merciful Ajinomo. Good morning, Africa. Good morning, Adesua.
Good morning, Merciful.
It's one day to Friday, your favorite day of the week.
How do you know that?
How you doing?
Okay, I'm very well, thank you. It's good to see you today.
Same here, same here.
All right. So we're going to be bringing you the quote of the day, after which we'll bring you development across Africa.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust to provide effective relief and is gentle on the stomach. Try Panadol Caplets for relief from headaches, body aches, and fever. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet gently breaks down in the stomach, quickly absorbs, and starts providing pain relief in 15 minutes. For fast and effective pain relief that you can trust, try Panadol Caplets. This has been Medifact for Panadol.
All right, welcome back, and we move straight into, stories and developments across Africa, starting with, a statement by French President Emmanuel Macron at the Financing African Summit in Paris on Tuesday, where he called on World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, and the Medicines Patent Pool to lift all constraints on vaccine patents to allow Africa manufacture on the continent. So basically, he's saying Africa should be allowed to, manufacture their own COVID-19 vaccine, so we don't have to be dependent on export and all of that stuff.
Definitely.
Because when there's a constraint, there's a limit to what we can get, what the continent can get, the number of doses that the continent can get. And then since we're looking at not hitting a third wave, we should be allowed to produce.
I need to go a long way towards curtailing the number of spread.
Yes, exactly. So we just have a number of vaccines in circulation.
All right, moving over to Ethiopia, where the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is saying that he's leading a campaign called the Green Legacy, and it aims to plant 20 billion trees across the country by 2022. And this is an effort to promote ecotourism and combat the effect of climate change. So far, over 10 billion trees have already been planted, according to Omar Hussein, that's the Minister for Agriculture in Ethiopia.
How much do you love nature?
I tell you all the time, I love nature. And apart from, climate change and everything, we're going to be combating food insecurity too.
Yes, exactly.
Because if we're talking about planting trees, we have plants that are also edible, yeah? So if we're having trees around and fresh air,
But the point of planting the trees is to not touch them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. No. There are some plants. Some plants that you can eat, and it's just grooming them, basically.
Yes, no, but I understand. I think the thing with green energy and trying to combat global warming and all of that stuff is because a lot of trees have been cut down. There's been deforestation and afforestation and all of that stuff. So they're planting trees, to help combat global warming, to help basically help you breathe fresh air, but also to ensure that the trees are not touched. That's why he said ecotourism or something like that. So you're just walking in a park full of trees.
So Abiy Ahmed released a couple of tweets on Twitter, and he itemized food insecurity as one of the reasons.
Okay, I wish they wouldn't touch the trees though, but okay. All right, moving over to Ghana, where Ghana Health Service, that's the GHS, has said the country is set to issue enhanced COVID-19 vaccination cards to people who get their second shot. According to Patrick Kuma Abuagie, Director General of the DHS, holograms will be imprinted on the vaccination cards of those who get their second shots for authentication to prevent counterfeiting and vaccination fraud.
So when you're getting a shot, you're getting the card, and it reads this person is taking the first shot.
So
I think that's a good
Ghana doesn't trust a lot of people to not say, okay, I've taken the vaccine and prevent fake certificates. So basically, they're going to be doing a holographic after the signature.
And apart from that, that's technological innovation.
Yes, I like that. So basically, it's all an effort to combat, the spread of the coronavirus in Africa.
All right, moving over to a drop of electricity generation in Ivory Coast and Ghana has led to a power cut in neighboring West African countries, and that's Mali and Burkina Faso. The prolonged dry season and working transmission lines are said to be the cause for reduced water levels at hydropower dams in both countries, and could take months to resolve. And that's very, very sad.
That's very sad.
We're talking about water, we're talking about electricity, these things are basic amenities for African people. So if we're having to, take months to resolve them, I think that's a sad one for Africans.
But look at the bright side. Ghanaians would not have to tell Nigerians, you guys don't have lights in your country.
Definitely.
They do that all the time. All right, so we're going to bring you COVID-19 update from across Africa right now.
You deserve a break. You can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge. Now available in the 450 grams pouch. Always remember,
Tim and I have been creative design. We really like it, but
you deserve a break. You can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge. Now available in the 450 grams pouch.
TOS TV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our TOS TV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. TOS TV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some of them sleep. They're going to ask how much you are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu Igbenegbu, and I am the People's Journalist.
Welcome back to The Conversation, showing on your digital First Pan-African News Network. Do not forget you can always be a part of it by following us across all our social media platforms at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That is at TOS TV Network, and of course our website www.tostvnetwork.com. And if you've not subscribed, please do so. This is Newspaper Headlines, where we'll bring you some headlines across the national dailies for this morning. And the first on our list is the Daily Trust. The very obvious headline there is Buhari seeks debt relief for Nigeria, others, and that's amidst rising external loans. And we have a couple of others on that. That's debt profile now 33 trillion naira, and focus on revenue drive instead. That's coming from expert. A headline there underneath the picture of the day, that's NLC halt strike as Labour Kaduna government meets today. And we have a couple of other headlines there. You can just grab a copy of the Daily Trust and get all the stories that we have lined up from the front page.
And moving to the Nigerian News Direct, starting with the banner headline on the Nigerian News Direct this morning, Buhari requests loan restructuring vaccines for African countries. And the writer under that says, meets Total Group and investors. That's on page 21. And then just underneath that one, stakeholders prioritize security, education as Engineer Sule hosts maiden town hall meeting. Senate approves deployment of 5G network in Nigeria. And on insecurity, there will be no war in Nigeria. Sultan, Defense Minister assure Nigerians. like quite a number of interesting headlines on the Nigerian News Direct this morning. Just pick yourself a copy and read up on all of those stories.
All right, move over to the Daily Times from the very top. Our new national career may take off by 2022. Sirica pledging right there. We can get that on page 2 of the Daily Times. The banner headline there, that's the conspicuous one. The Senate holds 5G deployment, criminalizes ransom payment, and that can be found on page 2. And we see the pictures of the day right there. That's Buhari and Ahmed Lawan. A couple of writers on that, and that's all the topics, headlines on the front page of the Daily Times.
And then the last daily we're going to be looking at this morning is the Business Day. The banner headline on the Business Day newspaper this morning says, AstraZeneca, Nigeria suffers setback as India prioritizes vaccinating citizens. And then just beside that one, industrial use of cannabis holds multi-billion-dollar opportunity. You can get that on page 29 of the Business Day newspaper. And just inside the Business Day, $6.18 billion external borrowing, not new. That's coming from the DMO, and that's on page 26.
Yeah, and that's all the headlines we have for this morning, for the national dailies for this morning we have for you. So just go grab yourself a copy, and you can also get their e-copy on their website and get all the details and get informed, educated, and entertained as well. That's the wrap on the newspaper headlines segment of the show. We'll go on a break now, and Adeswa, when we come back, she will take us through what's trending on social media. Just stay.
Welcome back to the conversation, and it's about that time we're actually through what is trending on social media and what's been trending in the last 24 hours. But you know, you can be part of the conversation by following TOS TV Network across all social media platforms. That's TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course subscribe to TOS TV Network on YouTube so you do not miss out on amazing content. You can also watch the conversation on www.tostvnetwork.com. Now, straight into what has been trending on social media in the last 24 hours. So the hashtag Fury has been trending on social media. So Fury, that's British professional boxer Tyson Fury, has been trending on social media because of a brawl, you know, back-to-back he had with Anthony Joshua. So the duo, they were supposed to, you know, have a fight in September 2021, but they might no longer have that fight because a court arbitration has compelled Tyson Fury to fight American heavyweight boxer Deontay Wilder one last time. And I think Anthony Joshua wasn't having that. So there's a back and forth between both of them, and I'm going to read out that tweet to you. The first one is from Anthony Joshua, and it says, at Tyson Fury, the world now sees you for the fraud you are. You've let boxing down. You lied to the fans and led them on. Used my name for clout, not a fight. Bring me any championship fighter who can handle their business correctly. And then Tyson Fury responded to him saying, Anthony Joshua, you're more full of about that Eddie spouting absolute shit. Your full team knew there was an arbitration going on. It was out of my hands. But I tell you, what if I'm a fraud? Let's fight this weekend. Bare knuckles till one man quits. Let's put up 20 million each. And Anthony Joshua responded saying, if there was an arbitration going on, why announce to the world we are fighting? The fight was signed, undisputed. Bare knuckle. You're a good kid. Don't play with me, Luke. I'll slap your bald head and you'll do nothing. Waste man. And then Paul Smith Jr. says, just a thought. Fury and Joshua throw every belt away, bar the Ring Magazine belt. The fans know the score, the world know the score. We need this fight. No sanctioning fees for the governing bodies. Then you see how fast they resolve the Wilder issue. Hashtag Fury Joshua, hashtag Beyond Belt. Are you a boxing fan?
Yes, I am, as a matter of
who are you a
fact.
fan of?
Yes, and
Fury
this
or
has
Joshua?
happened. Tyson Fury, you know, is a really good boxer.
Yes,
I
both of
mean,
them.
there's no, all of them, they're actually good boxers.
Yes.
But this, we have been having comments from him from day one, after the first fight he had with Anthony Joshua and everything.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like, okay, you're fighting this, I'm watching you, whatever is happening. So
Yeah.
everybody just wants to fight. And I think that's
I mean,
what fuels the fight. So
Yeah.
if this match, this whole 20 million each is going to be dropping it and fighting, I think fans would love to see.
Okay, so
They would love to watch it.
what if all of this is just, you know, to gather momentum and then so that they can make more money from the fight? I mean, I've been waiting for the Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight for the longest, and I'm seeing that they might not actually have the fight. And I'm like, wait, what's happening? No, you guys have to have the fight. So
it's
always
not their managers talking, it's them talking.
Yes, I
So
guess, I understand.
and I think there's some sort of aggression, there's some sort of anger, hate that fuels the fight of fighters. So they will
Not
say, look,
necessarily
we want
hate.
to have
Not necessarily.
not necessarily hate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I beg your pardon, but it's more like, okay, you think you're strong. Okay, come, let's do this one-on-one and see what's going to happen.
It's just the battle for supremacy. I'm stronger
Who
than you.
owns the
I'm
belt
better
and
than you.
everything?
It doesn't matter if you have the belt and all of that stuff. So I think it's just, you know, all those battles for supremacy every time that, you
So
know.
who are you banking on?
Anthony Joshua.
I know, I know.
Okay, so that's it for what's trending on social media. We're going to break now. When we come back, we'll be bringing you the big story.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. Eat the farm say it's happy. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Electoral data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
A big thank you for staying tuned to The Conversation, your #1 digital first Pan-African news network, 2S Television. And this is the big story. And like I always say, when you tune to the big story, do not forget you can always be a part of it by following us across all our social media platforms at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and that is at TOS TV Network. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube, you can do so by subscribing now so you do not miss out on our amazing content. And this morning on the show, we will be examining government reluctance to pass the Electoral Act bill. Some members of the civil society staged a peaceful protest at the entrance of National Assembly complex to demand for the passage of the bill for the amendment of the Electoral Act to be passed into law. Let's have a look.
Nigerians are concerned that the leadership of the National Assembly has failed to meet 2 deadlines, December 2020 and March 2021, set for the passage of the bill. We have it on good authority that the Joint Committee of the National Assembly has completed the technical process and the bill is ready for third and final reading. Thus, we are left to believe, until proven otherwise, that the leadership of the 2 houses of the National Assembly are obstructing the transmission of this bill to the plenary. Let me make it abundantly clear that it's not going to be a one-off protest. This is just the beginning.
On the show today to discuss this, we have God Bless Otubere, the global president ready to lead Africa and not too young to run Lagos State Coordinator. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. Now, you were at the National Assembly yesterday to drive home the demands for the passage of the bill. One of the points raised by the demonstrators is a suspected deliberate attempt to, delay even further the passage of the bill. What are your thoughts on that?
So the word is suspected deliberate attempt, which is what we have now concluded as part of our own internal investigation, because governance is not just what happens with the people who are elected, but it's also about the people who elect them, and about everyone who plays a role in how society is governed. So the bill has gone through all the necessary stages. There's been technical sessions. We were part of one in January, and then there was another one in February. And we've had cause to engage people within the system to ask, so where are we on these issues? And sources have said, oh, well, everything is, we don't understand what's going on. So clearly you want to look at it and say, okay, this is the conclusion that we would draw. Because, our experience with the Not Too Young to Run bill, the age reduction bill, also is the reason why we're now a bit more conscious about what is happening with the electoral reforms bill. Because if we look at what happened with the Not Too Young to Run bill, it got really closer to the elections before the bill was accented to by the president. Yeah. And we made some progress, but not as much as we would have. So right now we're saying if you get Electoral Act done quickly, what we would be able to do is to educate the people more and create this level of enthusiasm and belief in our political system. So if that is not happening, clearly we have reason to suspect that there's a deliberate attempt to sabotage the quick passage. And we have also made a commitment to ourselves not to allow the Senate President and the Speaker have sleep.
Okay, so talking about the Senate President, I know that every time that the issue of the Electoral Act bill has come up, he has always promised that, look, the bill is going to be passed. You just relax. But until now, up until we're speaking, it hasn't been passed. So do you think there's anything to be gained from the delay of the bill, maybe on both ends?
There is nothing to be gained. Nevertheless, the politician who is looking at us right now would say, oh, they're not informed on, they don't have the information we have. They don't know the implication of but the thing is, there is nothing to be gained. And it's a sad story that the Senate President and the Speaker would continue to tell Nigerians that the bill will be passed until so time and then it doesn't end. We're giving them June now. I know when the British High Commissioner went to see them, he made another promise, because the initial promise was on before the end of March 2021. And that didn't happen. And we marched on the National Assembly on the 24th of March with our Youth March Forth for Electoral Reforms campaign. And now Copinas is the next one, rather the one that just happened. What is coming is also going to be huge. And but we just hope that, and we're going to do it as peaceful as possible, but we just want the Senate President and the Speaker to understand that Nigerians are a bit more conscious now.
So do you think the protest is actually going to have any effect on maybe the bill being passed or anything?
You mean the political parties?
Yes, the protest, the
protest. Oh, yes, absolutely. You must understand how democracy works. It's important that we speak to Nigerians as touching how this thing called democratic governance, how it works. Citizens' demands are met in different, via different ways. So there are petitions, there are sit-ins, there are marches, there are protests, right? Protests and then elections, of course. Now, sit-ins happen when we kind of just, they're all part of protests, really, sit-ins, and then you find out that we'll find a way into the National Assembly or maybe towards the gate, and then we just sit it. And we say we're going to be here for another 3 hours until our demands are met.
Yeah.
That's a strategy. And then you look at protests, because these protests are like causing public attention to an issue. Whether you like it or not, what happened at the National Assembly yesterday was picked by almost all the major TV stations, and your station included, and all the radio stations. So what do you have is that the partners of government are listening as well. So a conversation happens where government is trying to negotiate a deal, and someone brings it up and says, sorry, you have people who are protesting for the passage of this bill. What are you guys doing?
Okay.
Right, so you see it.
Yeah.
And then you look at the fact that the whole, it's a whole range of security operatives were mobilized to that particular location yesterday. What does it tell you? It tells you that the police, the DSS, and everybody got wind of the fact that Occupy Now was going to happen. It means that somebody said, look, something is going to happen and we need you guys to ensure that. It tells you there is an effect.
Now let's talk about 2023 general elections. Is around the corner. Using the next election, that is 2023 general elections, as an example, if this bill is passed, will it revolutionize the elections in Nigeria as we know it?
It will, because, and I think it is important that I stated here that if this bill, and because we've read the content of the bill and we've made some adjustments and suggestions to the members. The sponsor of the bill in the House, Honorable Aisha Duku, and when we're having this conversation, the truth is if this bill is passed, it's actually more like a repeal of the 2010 Act, actually, because when you look at the provisions, right, the provisions are a bit more all-encompassing. I won't say it's not a finality. We will still get to another point where we'll go like, oh no, this is no longer working because society evolves, and then we'll find new ways of doing things right. But the provisions of this new act and the adjustment that we've asked for, and if they make it to the final version, we're literally going to have a brand new electoral system on our hands, and it's really going to revolutionize. Because one thing I can say is that the electronic transmission of results would become part of the act, such that it can be tenable in court. So if you look at what INEC has started doing with the result sheets that they now upload to a particular dedicated server. If you look at what happened in 2019 with Atiku versus Atiku v. Buhari, the court case about server or no server and all of that. INEC is now beginning to understand that there is need for confidence to be gotten from the fact that we can see 5 in polling unit A, and at collation center it is 5. We jokingly say that this act should stop election results from rising like Gary. That's it's a sad reality. I'm saying it, I want to smile, but I can't smile because it's a show of how wretched we are as a people. You can't vote and you have 20 in my timer, and then before it moves to INEC office, it's 200. It's just, I don't want to use the word I want to use, but
So basically we're out of time, but I just want to ask quickly. So in your opinion, if this bill is passed, yes, do you think it's going to create an enabling environment for, suppressed or marginalized groups like women, people with disability, young persons?
Oh yes, absolutely, because one of the provisions, one of the adjustments that we're asking for is we want special recognition for people living with disability on this bill, so that they can, and I think INEC is making moves to that, trying to expand the voter access, polling unit access, and all of that. So access rather. So hopefully, we see that there will be provisions for people living with disability to be able to vote, and but I mean there are challenges, especially with the Braille voting papers. People are saying, okay, you take someone into this voting booth, you can manipulate what they do, but you know, and all of that. But hey, come on.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been an insightful know you. We do really do hope that we have more of you.
Yeah, we can get an update.
Democracy, government, and young people, getting involved in everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching, viewers. Don't forget your opinions or contributions are not left out. You can be a part of it across all our social media platforms at TOS TV Network on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on our website www.tostvnetwork.com. I am Merciful Ajinamo.
And my name is Ade Sewelsi. Good morning and thank you for watching.